What is up, everyone? This is Gosu here from Serene Arts. So today I want us to learn something new, even as we design this simple "Thank God It's Friday" flyer in Pixellab. And of course, the most interesting part of this video is that I'm going to transform this raw picture into this without losing the quality of the person's skin. Now, it is not enough using only the color filter tool in Pixellab to achieve this effect, right? If you use the color filter tool alone in this Pixellab to achieve this effect, you are probably going to have something like this, which is going to have effect on a person's skin. Now we want to change the person's clothes. We want to change the color of the person's clothes without having any effect on a person's skin, right? So watch me carefully as I take you through how to do this perfectly in Pixellab without having any difficulty, right? So without much ado, follow me as I take you through this. Good. So let's start from scratch and get this underway. Good. So let's delete this text over here, and after that, the first thing that we have to do is to change the background color, and I'm going to use color blue for this one over here because the backgrounds that I'll be using, they have blue inside of it, so I just want it to match, right? So at this point, the first thing that we have to do is to bring in our subject. So I'm going to tap on the hexagonal tool over here and tap on import. So once I tapped on import, I'm going to select the subject, and of course I've already removed the background of this subject using the photo room application, right? If you don't know how to use the photo room application, tap on the video showing up on your screen right now at the top corner there. Just tap on it, watch a video on how to use the photo room application. Good. So at this point, I'm just going to increase the size of the image a little bit like this, then I'll put it over here, right? I think this is okay for me now. Good. So this is the image, the raw image that we have, and we will be using probably. Okay, this is the image, and we have to play around with this image and use it. But for now, let's just lock the image over here, and once we progress, we will work on it. Okay. So the next thing that we have to do is to enter the text like "Thank God It's Friday." So what we have to do now is to tap on letter A over here, which brings up the text and a quotes button. Then we tap on text. Once we tap on text, we have to tap on edit, and from edit we can now enter the text that we want to enter. So the first thing that we're going to enter is T, because we are actually aligning it to become TGIF. Okay, TGIF. Thank God It's Friday. So once we've done that, I'm going to change the font for this particular T. Okay, so let's see which font I can use for this. I'm just going to scroll through my fonts. Okay, let me try this font Spring Demo. Good. I'm going to use this particular font for this. Let's see. So I'm going to change the size. I'm going to use the size like 170, and let's see how it's going to be. So let me just increase the size. Good. I think I'm okay over here. What I'm going to do now is to make a duplicate of this. I'm going to make a duplicate of it and arrange it to the bottom and see if it will fit perfectly, right? So let me just do that quickly and see how it's going to be. At this point, I think I need to push it to the top a little bit like this. Note, I'm just doing some kind of arrangement over here so that when we start entering the remaining text, it will fit perfectly. You realize that Thank God It's Friday has 4 letters that we actually have to input over here. So that's what I'm doing currently, and I hope you are learning from this. Okay, you can apply this whenever you are working on your designs. Okay, at this point, I think I'm pretty much cool. So let me start with the editing of the text. So thank God. So the second one should be G. So letter G. Let me do that quickly. Tap on OK. The next one is letter I. Let me do that quickly. And the last one is letter F. So let me do that one too quickly. Good. We are pretty much cool with what we want now. So the next thing that we are going to do is to rotate the text a little bit. So let me use the rotate button over here, and let's see how best we can work on this. Okay, I think this form of rotation is okay for me. Now let me rotate the G. and I'm going to push it back like this. For the I, I'll leave it like that, and for the F, I'll also push it back a little bit like this, something like this. Good. Yeah, this is not bad. Now what I'm going to do is to make sure that what the arrangement I'm doing is on point. So I'm going to move it to this side a little bit like this, and also move this one. It's all about arrangements at this point. I'm just doing arrangement. Okay, I'm just doing arrangement of the tests I've entered. Good. So once we've done this, the next thing for us to do is to add the stroke effect to it. So let me tap on the letter T, make a duplicate of it, then go to color. So once you come to color, what you have to do is to give it a transparent effect like this. Okay, and I hope you know how to do this already. In case you don't know how to do it, you just have to tap on, let's assume the color is on this orange. Okay, let's assume it's on this orange. What you have to do to get a transparent effect is to tap on a plus sign over here and move this slider to this place. Okay, when it comes here, you'll see that what this let me show you, this part becomes transparent. Okay, so be watching this part as I move this slider. Okay, you can see as I bring it back, the color changed over here. So let me just push it here, and you see it is now transparent over here. Good, but I'm not going to use it now because I already have it set over there. I'm just going to tap on cancel over here and go ahead and pick it over here. So this is what we'll be having, and at this point we have to quickly go ahead and add a stroke effect to it. And the stroke, of course, I'm going to be using white stroke for this one, and the width of the stroke is going to be 1. So yeah, that is it, and I have to position this onto the letter T perfectly, right? So that's something you need to take note of whenever you are designing this kind of stuff, right? So let me just repeat the same process over here, and I think this one should be a little bit faster so that like we move faster in designing this. Okay, since you already know how to do this, you can just fast forward and look at the next page. So I'm just repeating the same thing over here, and I think pretty much cool with how to add a stroke effect. We are pretty much cool with it at this point. Good. So now what is the next thing to do after adding the stroke effects? What we have to do now the next thing that we have to do is to bring in our first background effect, right? So I've actually prepared a background for myself, and I use Pixellab and Pixellab to prepare the background, and I'm going to import that background into this quickly, and let's see how we can blend it with the design over here, right? So I'm just going to grab the background over here, bring it inside my working space, then make it 100 by 100, then push it to the back of the text. At this point, I'm going to reduce the opacity of it to, let's say, 63 thereabouts. Okay, and let's see how it's going to be. Okay, that's 63, and of course I'm going to lock this particular layer over here, and I'm also going to import the second background effect that I'm going to use. Probably it should be in my download folder right now, and let me pick it up quickly. Good, I think I got it right here. And of course I have to stretch it to also fit the background. When I say stretch, I just mean increasing the width and the height to be of the same size, right? So it is still the same square. And what I have to do now is to use the erase color tool to take off the white pattern within it. And after taking out the white pattern, I have to tap on the check mark right here, then probably push this one to the back of the other one like this. And at this point I have to reduce the opacity of it as well. So I think 3% will not be bad for this particular one. Okay, so this 3% and I'm okay with it. So I have to lock the layer as well over here. Now we are getting closer to the main job where we have to actually change the color of the person's dress. So let's just watch closely, right? So before we even move on to that, let's lock the layers of the Thank God It's Friday and stuff over here. So I'm just going to lock the layers 1 2 3 4, right? So I think I've locked them. Sorry, I actually have to lock the top ones, not the down ones, because along the line I'll be changing the color of the down ones, so I just want them to be there. Okay, so TG, okay, all right, so I think I'm pretty much cool over there. Good. So the next thing that I'm going to do before we move on to editing the color of the person's dress is to enter some effects onto the background. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to enter, let's say, plus sign, and I'll probably enter 3 plus signs over here. So the first one, this, and I'm going to use one font for it that will make it a little bit bold. So I think I'll use Akira expanded demo. Okay, Akira expanded demo is not bad for this. Okay, so I'm just going to increase the size of it a little bit. That is if I want to. Okay, I think this should be okay for me. 68 should be okay for me. And what I'm going to do is to bring it down a little bit to in between the T and the G over here, right? I just want to place it over here and see how it's going to look. I'm going to make a duplicate of it, tap on copy, then bring it down as well. Okay, so 11 with one copy I have to make. So for this one, I'm going to place it somewhere here, and I have to rotate it a little bit and see how it's going to look over here. I think this angle of rotation is okay for it, so let me just push it up a little bit like this. So the last copy I have to make, I'll push it to the corner of my work over here. Bring it down a little bit. I think I'm okay with it over there. Now the next thing I'm going to enter is also some kind of circular shape, but I'm going to use one effect over here like this one. So I'm going to increase the size of it, and I'll also try using the expanded Akira and see, but I think this default one is already fine over here, so we don't actually have to, you know, work on any other thing. So I'll leave it over here, make a duplicate of it, and bring the duplicate down somewhere here. So at this point, I think we are pretty much ready for the next move. So before we do the next move, let's finish up with the remaining stuff, right? So what we're going to do over here is to enter this colon over here, enter it severally as you want. So I'm just tapping on it. I think this is okay, so I'm just going to reduce the size of it a bit, and let's see how we can actually use it in this design. Good. So what we're going to do is to reduce the spacing between the text and see how best it's going to work out. So we have to delete part of it, like 2 lines. Let's see, 1 2, let's see how it's going to be. Now we left with 1 line to delete, so let's delete 1 line like this. So I think this is okay for us. Now we can now bring it and put it over here. That is, you put it at where you want. Okay, so for us, we're just putting it over here like this, and I want to reduce the size of it again and see how best it will be. Good. This is not bad at this point. It is not bad, so we can proceed with the remaining stuff that we want to do. Okay, so if you want to enter a message, you can enter a message like, let's say, thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. So I'll be like, cool yourself. I actually wanted to add this after working on everything, but let's just add this before we proceed. So cool yourself with some music. So we have to make it capitalized, and I think I'm just going to use the default font over here, and I'm going to reduce the size of the text so that it can fit at this side. And of course, I'm going to change the alignment to align center, something like this. And it simply means that I still have to reduce the size of it again. So I think 11 should be okay for me at this point in time. Good. So let me just lock these two elements over here, and now let's begin with the main work, right? One more thing before we actually start with the main work, you could see that the color of the text, like I said, we will be changing them along the line. So I think it's better we do them right now before we proceed. So quickly, I'm going to change the first one to that of orange. Okay, I want orange, and the second one to blue. So I'm going to use orange, blue, orange, blue, orange, blue, like this. Now we can start with the main work now. So to do the main work, come back and select the picture and make a duplicate of it by tapping on copy, right? So once you tap on copy, come back to the relative position tool, tap on it, tap on the both options at the middle, okay, the top one here and the down one here, tap on them and you have something like this. Now go back and select the main layer, I mean the picture, the one that is at the bottom, select it and do the same thing to it like this. Okay, so now that we have it being placed over there at the middle like this, what we have to do now is to change the color of the top one. Okay, so let's select the top one. Now the top one is highlighted, I mean this one is highlighted. Now what we have to do is to change the color of it by using the color filter. So let's tap on color filters and we can now play with the hue and the saturation to see what we will get. So let's just put it on its back like this and we start with our manipulation. So this is where you have to actually take like be careful when you are doing this. Okay, you have to be careful when you are doing this. You have to be extra careful so that you don't miss out anything. Good. So once you are kind of satisfied with the color of the shirt or the dress that you want, you tap on a check mark, and at this point make sure this particular layer is selected. Once you select it, come back to the eraser button. Now eraser button is what we use to do the main work over here. So what you have to do is to tap on it. Once you tap on it, this is what you are going to see. So at this point you have to actually increase the size of this if you want by using the zoom button. Okay, by using the zoom button you increase the size of it, and what we have to do is to clear off or erase the skin part of the person. So let's erase this part because we actually don't need it, so we have to actually clear it off like this. So you have to take your time when you are clearing it so that you don't clear off the person's shirt or the dress that the person is putting on. So let's see what we can do over here. So once you are done clearing off the head region, come back to the person's arms, right? So let's work on that one too as well and see what we're going to get. So let's quickly do that. Let me just increase the size of the brush a little bit, and I think we are pretty much done with this one. We just have to be careful so that we clean only the needed parts and not every part. Okay, so we move on to the other parts of the person's skin, and this time around, this place we have to be careful when cleaning it. Okay, we need to be careful when cleaning it so that we can get the exact thing that we actually want. Okay, so let's see how we're going to do this right now. So it's all about you zooming in and out, making sure that you are getting the exact position and you are not clearing off any other thing that is actually needed. Okay, you just have to clear off parts that are not needed. Okay, so take your time, do this, and you'll be good to go. Right, just watch me as I'm doing this step by step. Okay, it shouldn't be something difficult. Okay, you just have to take your time and you're going to achieve this perfectly. All right, so once I'm done cleaning all these parts, you will realize that we've done a great job by clearing all this stuff away. So after cleaning out everything, this is how your picture is going to look. Okay, so once you're kind of satisfied with everything, you have to tap on a check mark over here, and this is what you are going to be having. Right, so how do we go ahead with this? You just have to go back to your relative position tool over here, tap on it, position this at the middle like this, and this is what you are going to be having. Right, so what we have to do now is to make sure that we actually put them together like this. Make sure we merge the two. So let's see how it's going to be. We select this and the top one, this, then tap on merge, and we're going to have it merged up like this. So after merging them, we can now bring it down here like this. And this is pretty much very easy when you've been doing it for long. And so this is how to design this simple Thank God It's Friday flyer in Pixellab, and I do hope that you've learned something, especially when it comes to changing the color of the subject. You've actually learned something out of this, and if you do, don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe to this YouTube channel, and of course turn on notifications so that each and every time I upload a new video, you get to receive notification and learn something new. Alright, so this is Gosu here from Serene Arts, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bless up.